how much does a voice, or how much does voices Daryl Drake still have in that room to you guys after last year? And what did he mean to you guys? And is he what he taught you last year in the short time, does that still hang with you guys today?
We still remember him every day. I mean, like, he's still with us. Like, we still remember the things he used to tell us each and every day. I mean, shout out to Noah's from when we was getting a lot of stuff when we started off the season, like 0-4 last year. So we continue to keep that with us each and every day this year. He meant a lot to us. Like I said before, just you don't see those type of guys, like come across those type of guys like that. Just the impact he had on us was so big. I mean, it was just so much love from him. Like every day, he had a different type of bond with each and every one of us. Whenever we had problems or whatever, we can go to him about anything. He taught me a lot. I mean, although I didn't have that much time with him, but he taught me a lot of stuff that I could add to my game and just about life in general.
Thanks, Mark. We'll move on to Ray Fittipaldo with the Post-Cadet. Ray, go ahead.
Hey, Diontae, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
You put up some nice numbers as a rookie last year, but I was wondering, have you thought about the potential this year with Ben being back in the fold and what that could mean for your second season in the league?
I thought about it since the end of the season last year, just getting back ready and expecting Ben to come back 100%. I mean, I'm looking forward to getting on the field with Ben this year and just to be able to help him win games and win a championship too. So, I mean, I know how hard he's worked this offseason to get back healthy, and I know how hard I've been working to prepare myself for this season. And just to be able to be back on the field with him this year is just amazing. I can't wait to get it going.
All righty, thanks, Ray. We'll move on to Brooke Pryor, ESPN. Brooke, go ahead.
Hey, Diontae. Speaking of Ben, he was telling us yesterday that just the season on the sideline kind of changed his perspective, seeing how people communicated, seeing how the offense worked from a different perspective. And just the short time that you guys have been back on the field in these kind of light practices, have you noticed a different way that he communicates or he works with you guys? And what's it been like to have him back in the huddle and have things kind of return to normal, or at least what they were last training camp?
It's been pretty good. I mean, everybody wants to play for Ben, obviously. He's our leader. He's our quarterback. So everybody's locked in every play. Whenever the ones are up, we locked in. We know what we got to do. And just the energy he brings to the offense, I mean, because you want to play for a guy like Ben. I mean, he's going to help you make plays, and you want to make him look good as well. So, and just he's different this year from what I seen last year. Like he's like more excited. He's like anxious to get on the field and want to play with us. So that makes you want to play for him even more. So that's the big thing. That's one of the things I've been seeing from him, just him engaging with me more than he did last year. I mean, just because I was a rookie, so he wasn't talking to me like that. But now just being able to talk to him and have that connection, and we just gonna keep building. I'm trying to just help him win the championship.
Thanks.
Thanks, Brooke. We'll go to Aditi Kinkubala with the NFL Network. Aditi, if you're on, go ahead.
I'm here. Hold on one sec. There we go. Okay. Hi. Thank you, Diontae. You talk about wanting to help Ben. So one of the things that Ben desperately needs and this offense needs is a home run hitter. What's a home run hitter, and why are you the guy who can be that?
Home run hitter, I mean, somebody that can take the top off the defense, stretch the field, and just help the quarterback make plays down the field. And just being able to, I feel like I can be that guy because my ability to make plays off the line, make plays, getting out my breaks, and just being, like I said, being able to make plays down the field, give him an option to come to me on third down, wherever down it is. I'm just going to try to be consistent for him.
Thanks, Aditi. We'll go to Dale Lally with DK. Dale, go ahead.
Hey, Diontae. Obviously, your rookie year, I'm sure, was a whirlwind for you last year. Did you step back at any point during the offseason and look back on what you did, and what did you learn from that rookie season that you can now take into this year?
I learned a lot, actually. I mean, just the game, the pace of the game, and just what it takes to be a pro. I mean, because coming in, I didn't really know much of what to expect, and I was just picking my teammates' brains on like what to do and how to do certain things, and just being able to ask those to my toolbox helped me out a lot. So now everything's kind of slowed down for me, so I kind of know what to do and how to take care of my body and what to eat and stuff like that to prepare myself for the season. So that's pretty much what I would say I learned.
Thanks, Diontae.
Thanks, Dale. We'll move on to Jim Wexel, 247 Sports. Jim?
Hey, Diontae, two quick ones. They wanted you to add strength and weight after last year. How did that go? And also compare Ben's fastball this year to last year.
Really, I just was eating healthy, making sure I'm putting the right things in my body. I mean, last year I weighed around like 180. Recently I weighed 191. I kind of dropped down to 186 now, so I'm kind of comfortable with my weight right now. From last year, I feel like Ben's arm is way better than it was last year. Just being able to catch the ball from him, like I said before, is just exciting. I mean, I'm just trying to help him win games and make him look good each and every play.
Has he cut one loose yet? I mean, really cut it loose?
Yeah, he's cut a lot of them loose actually. Yesterday, I mean, it's nice tight spiral like you want to. Wherever he's gonna put the ball, wherever he wants to. Just like I said, just make Ben look good out there.
Thanks, Jim. We'll move on to Jeff Hathorn, 93.7.
Hey, Diontae, appreciate you doing this. Hey, how much do you know about Ike Hilliard's career? And if so, how does that help with credibility and some of the stuff that he's teaching to you guys?
I don't know much, but I know he was a good receiver. I know he started for 8 years. He had a great career, but he knows some stuff, and what he's been telling me these past couple of days seems like he can add a lot to my game, and I'm just soaking everything up, trying to take it in, because you always gonna have stuff to work on. So, and I'm always open to like learning new things. So that's what I've been trying to do, like pick his brain, whether it's on film, outside on routes, technique, just little stuff like that. Just trying to add extra stuff to my toolbox.
Thanks.
All right. Well, thanks, Jeff. We'll move on to Tim Benz with the Trib. Tim, go ahead.
Hey, Diontae, we spoke yesterday with Matt Canada. He was brought on board, of course, to be the quarterback coach, but when he was offensive coordinator at Pitt, he did a lot of creative, inventive things to get the ball in the hands of his playmakers via pre-snap motion, jet sweeps, things of that sort. If he and Randy Fiedner put their heads together and sort of collaborate in that regard, are you the kind of player that would most benefit from some of those wrinkles thrown into an offense? Could you help in that regard?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna do whatever they ask me to do. So that's the main thing. I mean, although it's new stuff, I'm still actually learning all those new motions and stuff, and the stuff he's brought over to us. I mean, I wouldn't say it's tough. It's just something that you gotta put your mind to and just want to learn it. I mean, I'm just gonna, like I said, I'm gonna go out there and do whatever it takes to help them two guys win.
Is it fun? Do you find like room for explosiveness there for you in particular?
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, it's gonna create, like you said, create ways for me to get open and make plays. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
All right. We'll move on to Brian Bacco with the Post-Gazette. Brian, go ahead.
Hey, Diontae. Since we last talked to you back in May or whatever, the NFL has obviously done away with the preseason games for this year. As a guy going into your second year, when maybe you're trying to look for kind of a big leap, how much do you think that's going to hurt not just you but the offense, or is there not much concern about not having those games to get ready for this year?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say it would be a concern. I mean, although it'll be a concern for not a concern, but it's just gonna be different for the guys that's trying to make the team. It's gonna be a real big difference for them, because although you need those games to actually show what you can do, But other than that, I think we're gonna be fine. I mean, guys gonna been training all season, getting ready for the season, like pros, and the vets gonna know what to do and stuff. So it's nothing new. It's just how you gonna prepare for the game and how you attack the day every day.
Thanks.
All right, we'll move on to Mike Pizzuto with WDVE. Triv, go ahead.
How's it going, Diontae?
How you doing?
We had Randy Fiegner on here last week, and he mentioned you missed a lot of time in the offseason last year, rookie camp and a lot of the OTAs. How were you able to overcome that, all those things that rookies usually need? You were able to be productive anyway. What got you through the season?
It's like coming in, I didn't really know how to take care of my body. Just little soft tissue injuries. I mean, and eating the right things. I mean, now I know what to do. Now I know how to prepare myself, know what to eat, hydrate and stuff like that. I mean, just being able to pick the brains from the vets and like ask them questions on like what they do to take care of their bodies. That's all I did was pick their brains and just add it to my toolbox. And now coming in, I know what to do. So like everything's slowed down. And my body's feeling good. I feel healthy. I'm feeling 100%. I'm ready to go. I'm just ready to play right now. That's all I'm winning.
Thanks.
Thanks, Mike. We'll move on to Joe Rutter with the Trib. Joe, go ahead.
Hey, Diontae, how you doing?
Good.
When we last talked to you in May, you were still awaiting clearance, from your surgery.
Yeah.
When did that happen, and did it take you a while to kind of get caught back up, and you feel like you're there now?
I couldn't catch the first part.
When we talked to you in May, you had not gotten clearance from your injury, your hernia surgery. When did it happen, and where are you at now?
I'm 100% now. I mean, I really didn't know anything. I mean, it's just football stuff like that's gonna happen. I mean, I just played through it, whatever. I mean, now I'm 100% and I'm ready to go.
All right, we'll move on to Jenna Harner with WPXI. Go ahead, Jenna.
Hey, Diontae, thanks so much for taking some time. What's it been like for you guys kind of adjusting to this new normal here? And I guess, is there that much that's really changed for you guys?
It's different. I mean, just being on all these guidelines you got to follow and whatnot. I mean, social distancing and stuff in the locker room. It's different for me. I'm still getting used to it. Everybody else is too. You just gotta adjust to it. For real. That's what everybody's been doing. So, and you just can't complain about it. You just gotta do what you gotta do to get through everything.
Thanks, Jenna. And we're a little short on time with Diontae, so we'll wrap it up with Rich. A couple of you others still on the call. We'll make sure to get you with Vince, but we'll wrap it up with Diontae after Richie Walsh. Rich, go ahead.
Hey, Diontae, I was just wondering, with such an odd offseason headed in this year, how much does it help you guys or favor this team that you have a lot of veterans, a lot of people that know what to do in this league?
It's a big help. I mean, just being able to have those type of people on the team, I mean, like, it's just awesome. I mean, like, you don't got to worry about nothing because everybody knows what to do. I mean, all of the young guys got to, like myself, we all got to follow along in their footsteps and try to learn from them. Just like if we have anything, just pick their brains. I mean, I'm still learning every day. I'm continuing to learn. So that's really pretty much what I've been doing, just trying to learn from everybody.
Will Graves with the Associated Press. Will, go ahead.
Hey, Vince. Good to see you. Just sort of curious, as we get going here, I saw that the league set a deadline for opt-outs for tomorrow. I mean, you've been around a while. What's your level of comfort with what they put in place? And have you talked to your teammates at all about the possibility that some guys may decide not to play this year?
Well, you got safety first. Everybody has their own prerogative. They have to take care of their family. I think the NFL did a great job of providing us. I know the Steelers have personally provided us with a safe environment. But, that's a decision that every man's got to make for himself.
I cover baseball too. And I mean, they've had their problems as they've gotten going. Everybody agreed to what they were going to do. And then I've asked players, I asked Josh Bell, did you read this health protocol? And he said, no. I'm just sort of curious. I mean, have you guys what's the education process like for you guys in figuring out what you can and can't do?
Everybody's for the Steelers, man, educated.
All right, we'll move on to Chris Adamski with the Trib. Chris, go ahead.
Hey, Vince, what does it mean to you to get to 8 years as a 6th-round pick in the NFL? And I know you're a student of the game and everything. Does that, you're kind of climbing up the charts and sneakily in terms of games played, seasons played amongst the Steelers, active players and amongst linebackers in history. Did you notice that? You take a pride in knowing you've been able to carve out this kind of career?
No, not really. I always pretty much set high expectations for myself, so it just comes with the territory.
We'll move on to Noah Strackbean with Sports Illustrated. Noah, go ahead.
Hey, Vince. Thanks for doing this. When we talked to Devin Bush a couple months back, he jokingly said that if he has to play all of the snaps this season, he will. I know that, realistically that's not going to happen, but are you comfortable being one of 2, primary starters on the inside this year?
Absolutely.
We'll move on to Mark Kaboli with The Athletic. Mark, go ahead.
What's up, Vince? How you been? Your run defense as a team last year was good at times, not so good at times. How do you better that and make that more consistent this year? And what do you have to do to make it consistent this year?
Well, I think a microcosm of that was just how many snaps we had to play. So, generating more turnovers will help us get off the field, not be in situations where teams are running the ball on us like that. I also think that having Ben Roethlisberger back will put our offense in position to be on the field more, score more points, so we won't be, trailing at the end of the game. So have teams running the ball on us, putting us in 4-minute offense type situations.
Thanks, Vince.
Thanks, Mark. We'll move on to Dale Lally with DK. Dale, go ahead.
Hey, Vince. One of the things when we talked to Keith about you the other day, he said that one of your strengths is communication on the field. How do you feel that Devin is coming along in that respect, and how can you help him in that respect?
Just leading by example. I tell Devin all the time that, middle linebackers are vocal communicators. They're in the middle of the field. And the more you make calls, the more comfortable you get with it, the more people will get confidence in you making those calls. So, he's just taking it in stride, watching me, seeing how I do things and learning.
Thanks, Vince.
Thanks, Dale. We'll move on to Brooke Pryor with ESPN. Brooke, go ahead.
Hey, Vince, thanks for doing this. Yesterday when we talked to Ben, he said a lot of guys like being on top and like being hunted, but sometimes it's fun to be the underdog and be overlooked. And he said that was one of the reasons he was so excited to come back and play with this group. What do you feel like the feeling is on the team? And is that something that motivates you to be kind of overlooked, at least in the division?
I don't think the Steelers are ever underdogs or underlooked. I think we have a certain expectation around here that everybody in the NFL holds us to. But as far as just individual performance, probably, Ben coming back from, a year where he got hurt and having people questioning whether he can return at his age, which will definitely drive somebody to feel like they're an underdog. But, Ben is Ben Roethlisberger. If he's on the field, if he's playing and he's healthy, he's a top quarterback in this league. So I don't think there's any undermining what he's going to bring to the game when healthy. Well, he's healthy.
Thanks.
Thanks, Brooke. We'll move on to Ray Fittipaldo with the Post-Gazette. Ray, go ahead.
Hey, Vince, how's it going? Mike always talks about the biggest jump for a pro is from year 1 to year 2. I was wondering if you could think back from 13 to 14, what it was like for you, and do you see in Devin that, maybe things are slowing down for him as he gets ready for year 2?
Absolutely. I mean, Devin's making tremendous strides just in the small detail-like things. For example, he's got a nice little system that he's working with. He comes in the building at a consistent time every day. Those are things that you don't really see from a young guy. They don't really have a formula for success, but I'm starting to see that he's starting to develop that, and I think he's going to get better with it.
Thanks. We'll move on to Jeff Hathorn with 93.7 The Fan. Jeff, go ahead.
Hey, Vince. Just wondering, what does the return of Stephon Tuitt mean to your defense, and what more can you do when Stephon's in there?
Tuitt is a tremendous force on the D-line. having his presence back is just going to be it's going to be amazing, really. I mean, everybody knows what Tua brings to the game. I don't really have to hype him. You know, he's an animal out there. He's a beast. He's somebody that needs to be dealt with. He does. I mean, it's not like we can't do. It's not that we're going to do different things with him, but just his presence on the field is going to be a huge impact for us.
Thanks.
Thanks, Jeff. We'll move on to Jenna Harner with WPXI. Jenna, go ahead.
Hey, Vince, thanks so much for taking some time here. I'm just kind of curious what the message has been kind of from the vets to the rookies, even the second-year guys, as, you know, we're dealing with really unprecedented times here, especially for those rookies, such a new training camp, a new kind of everything for them.
Just something we're going to lead by example. So just, you know, watch how we work. You know, we've never dealt with this before either. So everybody's kind of in a little murky water.
Thanks, Jenna. We'll move on to Mike Pizzuta with WDVE. Triv, go ahead.
How's it going, Vince?
Oh, pretty good. I hear you.
You seem to have a real feel for rushing the passer from a front four position last year. How much did you do that, and why do you think you were successful at it?
Because we have great rushers. I mean, that's the answer to the question. If you have great rushers, you're going to let them get after the quarterback. We have great rushers, so, you know, that's what they do.
But I mean, you specifically, that's something that maybe you hadn't done before. Will that continue, do you suspect?
Yeah, you know, it's Blitzburg here. We're always trying to get after the quarterback, and everybody has to be able to do that, you know, even in the secondary. So we seek out guys that can get after the quarterback, and then, you know, Coach Butler puts us in position to be able to do that. He expects us to capitalize.
Thanks.
All right, we'll move on to Joe Rutter with the Trib. Joe, go ahead.
Hi, Vince. Can you hear me?
Yes.
You got some young, inexperienced guys behind you at inside linebacker. What have you seen from Ulysses, you know, building off of year one, and what kind of challenges is that going to be for these young guys trying to make an impact when there's an abbreviated training camp?
Well, you know, it just steepens the learning curve, but I'm confident they'll figure it out. A lot of these guys are really bright. They're really into football. I think that, you know, everything else being shut down outside of this has presented them a unique opportunity that all they have to do is to focus on football at this point. So I think that's going to help, you know, lessen the steep curve that it would be.
And Ulysses, have you seen much growth from him from year one now?
Yeah, Yuli's looking great. I think he's made tremendous strides.
All right, we got time for two more. We'll go to Brian Bacco of the Post-Gazette. Brian, go ahead.
Hi, Vince. Everybody, you know, pretty much knows what you can do as a blitzer, as a run stopper. With Mark gone now, though, I mean, he's a guy they brought in for a reason last year. How much more coverage responsibility are you going to have in 2020, and how confident are you when you're called upon to do stuff like that?
I don't know. That's a question that you have to ask Coach Butler, but I'm pretty confident in anything I can do on the football field. If they ask me to do it, I'm going to do it.
Do you feel like there's like a misconception that you're, you know, that's not one of your strengths or something that, you know, you can't do on a regular basis anymore?
To be honest with you, I don't really look at it. I don't pour into it. I don't look at the misconceptions because it doesn't come up in situations where my coaches don't ask me to do things. Like, it's never a situation where I'm not game planned to be put in situations where I have to cover because of something that would be a perceived limitation of mine. Like, I don't go into the game room. I don't go into the game plan room and Coach Butler's like, we're going to, you know, blitz you because you can't cover. I've never had anybody say that to me.
Right.
So I think it's just like an outside thing that people talk about outside of our organization. But everybody inside the building, you know, they know what I can do.
Thank you, Vince.
Thanks, Brian. And we'll end it today with Aditi Kinkhabwala of the NFL Network. Aditi, are you good?
I am great. Sorry, I just needed a minute with this one. But she's not screaming for you. She screamed at Ben yesterday.
Oh, that's great.
If that counts. Vince, without the preseason games and for how physical as your team is and how you need to test these young running backs especially, do you think you need to hit more? Do you need to tackle more in practice? Is your expectation that Coach Tomlin will have an even tougher camp than usual because of that?
Man, that's a great question. I don't know, to be honest with you. Nobody really knows. I mean, we got to find a way to evaluate these guys with our preseason games because a lot of the young guys, or just from a strictly an evaluation point, we don't know what they can do. Physicality may be a trait that a lot of guys lean on, that they may not have that many opportunities to be able to display that. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure, I'm confident Coach Tom will find a way to, get it done.
Well, if he comes to you and he asks you as a veteran, would you say you'd want to hit more? Are you comfortable with that?
Absolutely not.
Would you want the younger guys to hit more?
No, I don't think they need any more tackling. But, I mean, it's a catch-22 because, but if he asks me, I'm going to tell him we need less padded days.